How was your experience there playing in Israel? I know that league's good. The league,
Yes.
the Israel league is no joke. Like people don't that league is good, man.
I recommend all young players. If you're starting your career out, it's a perfect place to go because it's an up-tempo league. It's fast-paced. They rely heavily on foreigners, on Americans, and everybody speaks English. It's like living in Miami. Food is awesome. Israeli people are great. Like I really enjoyed it there. Like it was I think it's the best place I've ever played in. Like off the court, like living everything. And it's a place where as a young player, you can go and show yourself and not have an extreme culture shock off the court or like a culture shock on the court, because a lot of countries have different styles of play, different tempos, different strategies. But this is a place that's about as Americanized as it gets when it comes to basketball on the court. Up tempo, free flowing, isolation, all those type of things. And I just really loved it. Things didn't go right the first year on the court for me, just because like I was the youngest, I was the lowest paid, and I didn't really have that rep. And so I don't feel like I was given, fair opportunity minutes wise. And when I did get the minutes, I did something with it. But this is like the growing pains of Europe. Young players sometimes don't get an opportunity early. And I think it just made me more hungry, made me work even harder. It's a game as you play overseas, even guys in NBA. My brother didn't play his first 2 years in NBA. Was he good enough to play? Of course. You don't just wake up one day and now you're a max player. You're a guy who's made 100 million. Like you've been that guy. You just didn't get an opportunity. Like, and that was kind of the situation for me as well. So
were you able to go to his because he was a lottery pick, right? He was the first round 10th pick in 2013, I believe. 2013. Because he's turning CJ should be 30 now.
Yeah.
I think he's 30, yeah.
Yeah, so you good, man. You good.
Yeah.
You know your stuff.
Yeah. Did you go to that draft night when he was drafted?
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was incredible. Like it was one of the happiest moments of my life. So like a lot of time people try to pin you against your brother, or they think civil rivalry, but like the way me and my brother operate is what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Like people understand, like whatever he needed, he had it. I got it for him. Like or my parents got it for him. He in college, he called me. I'm already pro. I got a little bit of money. He like, I need this, I need that. Here, it's yours. Like we're such a close-knit family that, each person's individual success becomes our success. Like that's how we are. We happy because you not only represent yourself, the hard work you put in, but you putting the family in a good light. You represent everything well. Like, and just to see everything he had to overcome, knowing he took a similar path as me, seeing all the obstacles he faced, to see that moment, a kid from Canton, Ohio, who had no stars, who had barely any offers, who no one thought we would play professional. Like no one thought we would become, who we are now. Like to see that, come to fruition, like it was extremely special and humbling. And it just shows you, the blessings from God. If you put the work in, he will reward you.
Well, some of the growing pains he experienced, you had your fair share. I think it's kind of cool. Like you had your growing pains, early on. What was some growing pains he experienced in the league? Because I'm sure you guys spoke about that.
Yeah, in the league, it was crazy. You 10th pick in the draft. You just coming off a broken foot. Like he was having an incredible year, and he still got drafted 10th after missing 60% of the season. And so he comes in, he looks great, and training camp he's playing great. Minutes are there in the preseason, and then he breaks his foot, and it's like, dang, like he's stressed. This is the second time he's broke his foot. He was just starting to get in the rotation and kind of taken away. And so he has to build that back up. And, in the NBA, when you're a young player and you're on the team that's in win now mode, and at this time, Portland had Nick Batum, Robert Lopez, LaMarcus Aldridge, Dame, Wes Matthews, all extremely talented players. They were always a playoff team. They're not going to slow down and wait for you. So, you miss that time, you come back in, it's hard to get back in the mix, regardless of your talent or your lottery. Like, they flowing. And you're a young player and you get a coach who doesn't like to play young players. Maybe it's just because he wants them to earn it. Maybe he doesn't trust young guys, whatever the case may be. A young player didn't usually play in the Portland system unless there was an injury or they were forced to. With Dame, there was nobody else. He had to play. My brother didn't play. Gary Trent didn't play. Will Barton didn't play. These are all extremely talented players Well, Barton over 40 million in Denver. Gary Trent signed a big deal, 70 million in Toronto. Like these guys who were just on the end of the bench, not because they weren't good enough, just because they were young. And so, he's battling that. And it's funny because when I had some time in the summertime, I would come down, work out with the guys and just, spend some time with my brother. And, while I'm down, I need to work out, stay in shape. And, I'll never forget this. I think it was CJ's first or second year. Wesley Matthews was like, he was talking to me and he said, man, he said, your brother's the real deal. I was like, yeah, but he don't even play, man. Like, he said, no, he gonna play. He was like, hey, he's like, your brother's nice. I said, I know, bro. Like, I know. He was like, no, you not understanding. He was like, your brother nice. Like, they gonna trade me in a couple years. This is gonna be his show. Like, he gonna be the starting two guard here. I was like, you think so? And he's like, oh, for sure. Like, he dominates in practice. Like, and this is my brother's like first and second year. He's like, yo, he dominates. He's special. He has it. He was like, I'll be out of here in probably 2 years, 3 years, and it's gonna be your brother's. And the fact that he still was willing trying to help my brother. He was still, telling me that, knowing I'm gonna tell my brother just to kind of encourage him when he's going through his growing pains. Just showed the type of person he was. He was just a good dude. And, he definitely looked out for my brother. I got love for Wes Matthews, good brother. And when you older and you mature, you done made your bread. You didn't see how the game go. You didn't took somebody's spot when you was a young, Thundercat. You was coming out there. You didn't took somebody's spot. Like, no matter who you are, eventually your time comes. Unless you like KD or Brian, like, eventually it's gonna come.
So after Israel, you went to Greece, right? I believe right after Israel.
2 years Israel, and then I went to Greece. And
you went to Greece.
For me, that was awesome. I loved Greece. It was kind of my coming out party, just because I had played, solid in Israel, but like Greece was such a respected league. They had 2 EuroLeague teams. They have that prestige, and it's a league that's known for a tactic. It's more half court. You got to be, dealing with the physicality, all the things that make it tough. Whereas Israel was the exact opposite. It's up tempo. It's free flowing. Like it's open gym like. And so, I went there and, I think I was the third leading scorer in the league, and I kind of really made a name for myself and started to earn a lot of respect. And, before you have it, I was, regarded as, a legit EuroLeague level type of guard.
You went to China right after that? Like after Greece?
I did another year in Greece.
Yeah.
And then after that year in Greece, I got I was a leading scorer in Greece, leading scorer in the Euro Cup, MVP of the Greek League. And from there, I went to China.
Yeah. And then that's where you had the 82-point game.